He the first interview we had. I was like, that nigga up.
He said, that nigga niggered up.
I despise when, niggas, just put everything on white folk, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, I'm just, I just come from a very self-sufficient family. I'm from Mount Bayou, man.
I was like, what we say, the Delta, bro? That's
first black town found by slave, man. So I just got a do for self attitude. You know what I'm saying?
From Mount Bayou.
Yeah. So my early years, when I was born to 5, my mama got married, and then we moved to Cleveland. But my whole family, my mama went to JFK. She was queen, cousins. I was actually the first person to graduate from East Side. That went to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we grew up in a little town, Winstonville, which my uncle
everything I can pull it out, twist it.
Okay.
Okay, I got you.
You said what? With a bone. Right. I know that dumb one. Them the only two I really need.
Eddie, what's your IG handle? I don't know about hard.
The Royal is with no vowels. Just
D-A?
T-H-E.
T-H-E.
R-Y-L.
R-Y-L.
P-R-N-C.
This shit pop up. T-H-E-R-Y-A-L?
No, R-Y.
I got you. I guess me. They, playing with the Redskins at the time.
Yeah.
So I was living in D.C. at the time. And then, I was up in Ashburn. And then, Smooth had just a player-ass mansion out there in Leesburg. So we used to pull up on him. And, when he took, Smooth like the joke and shit. So he was like, man, who this nigga y'all got in here from Pearl?
Yeah. That nigga electric. Right.
I said, hold on, nigga. I said, nigga, your teammate, my OGs, nigga. I'm from Cleveland. I went to East Side. So he looked. I said, Dorset Davis, Poe Chop. I said, Ken Lucas, them my OGs.
Yeah.
He said, okay. So then shortly after that, that's when I met Pope.
That'll be dope to have.
That'd be cool, man. Just like the Jack State UNLV game when they played UNLV back in 2016 in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I put that game together. What? Yeah, my uncle Lawrence Weekly, shout out to Uncle Lawrence, from North.
Keep that. And what we gonna do?
Yeah. I can call him, you know what I'm saying now, but he went to Grambling back in the Gap. I worked in higher education 13 years. Yeah, so I was at Grambling at the time, and he wanted to put the game. He wanted to do 3 HBCUs, back to back to back, and he wanted to do his alma mater. And I was working at Grambling at the time. I was the dean.
How you wanna do it? You ain't really built like that. Shooter like KD coming off the hip like that. Smoking that loud, this that pump up the volume. Lighting up a spliff like that. In the streets spinning them. These niggas sweet like cinnamon. Same rap nigga, you a synonym. If a nigga want that smoke, tell him he can bring 10 of them. We'll shoot 5 at minimum. Big footprint, I'ma step like Sasquatch. Bitch, I'm full of fire like a matchbox. A lot of y'all hoes really lose.
What's up?
What it do?
You already know. This your boy Nardo, Blacktastic.
It's your boy E-Dubb.
And we are the Productive Procrastinators. If you ain't being productive, you probably procrastinate.
And if your ass ain't procrastinating, what they doing, Kenyon?
Hey. Damn
Facts.
show hating. And
Facts.
today, I got my brother who got so many hats.
And he came in the door talking too,
I didn't
boy.
even know any hats. But speaking of hats, he is well known for fashion.
That's
you feel
it.
me? Just like around here, it don't get no better, man.
It
I
don't.
want to welcome to the platform,
Don't.
y'all. Make some noise for my dog, Kyris.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
The homie.
Appreciate it.
The homie.
Cooler than the other side of the pillow. Hey, man. Hey, look, nigga. I'm going to get real with it. Right? Talking I had, I did me a little big show or something. I'm feeling real good. I heard something from one of my exes. She was like, oh, you one of them now. You one of them guys. You in there with the guys they talk about.
She said it like that.
You like that.
Hold up. Not like no pretty boy like Kyris.
Oh, man.
She said that?
Oh, man.
What the fuck you talking about? How you talking?
Right.
You know that's my nigga, bro.
Wait.
Oh, so this don't do it for you.
Oh, man.
This,
You
Right.
keep me out of
pretty.
that.
Right, you ain't pretty,
Yeah,
dog.
keep me out of that, man.
I know, dog. Because I met you as a RN. You were a real one to me, man.
Right.
For whatever y'all see, the exquisite stuff, man. I shout out to you for you showing people how we can blend it.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
Oh.
appreciate it.
It ain't just on like you don't. I don't even know your side with it. Like for the, I know.
Right.
When I just was telling them before the show, I couldn't even tell how we met each other.
Yeah.
But I know when we met, it was embraced like I've been there.
Yeah.
I think it might have been in fourth. I just was walking through and you were like, "What up?" or something.
Yeah. Well, I knew of you probably mid to late 2000s. Far as face, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just being in the Jack.
Yep.
Cause I graduated Southern Miss in 06. I kept a crib down there to about 09, but I was pretty much between DC here and then Hattiesburg and back and forth in the Delta and stuff. That's like my old life.
Old life.
You know,
we got that.
right.
We all got that.
But, touch on all that.
So just in my hot boy days, man. You know what I'm saying? Round around.
That's one way you would know me first. Yeah, that's a
hot boy.
You know, we were bumping into each other. You know, but when I came back, I came back to Jackson in 2010, and then I pretty much been here ever since. Even though when I stayed in Louisiana, when I worked for Grambling, I always maintained a residency here. But when me and my wife got married in 17, we started dating in 15. I pretty much was in the city, man. You know, pretty tough. And I would say that, you know, the first stint of me being here like in 08, it was like I knew everybody, but it was more so like I knew people that you had to be on the scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I knew you through face or I knew you personally, you know what I'm saying, dealing with business or whatever it may be. But when I came back and then, you know, I kind of, you know, had a foundation and I'm like, okay, this is what home gonna be. I started to meet the people who were still on the scene, but also the people that was within the community, right? And then, you know, it's always 6 degrees separation, man, if you from here, right? You know, you ain't got to be from here to be from here, if you know what I'm saying. So I think everything just started, you know, the knots just started time, man. And then, you know, once you boom, 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 then you found out I'm associated with this person. I know you associated with this person. And as they say, birds of a feather flock together, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I pretty much, I knew of you almost 20 years ago, but, you know, I really locked in, which I want to say probably around that 2014, 15,
I hit
16,
the door, bro.
somewhere
Like,
around
what
there.
up? I'm like, what up? Shit. Locked in, and it really just the communication been like that ever since you blessed me when I had my last podcast.
Right.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Because from the jump when I seen you, that soon as I really get to know who you is, you got
Right.
the suits popping.
Right.
Suits popping.
Popping
appreciate
is
it,
an
man.
understatement, bro.
So then I do my research on your page. I'm looking around and I see who your sister is.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, I know who her dad is. Do you know who his pops is?
He was telling me when we was up.
Yeah, I was giving him a little backdrop of my dad because he told me he was from Greenville. So I told, you know, my daddy from Greenville. You know what I'm saying? My biological dad.
Yeah, he said.
So, you know, when I started naming off streets, and then, you know, say I was raised in Cleveland, man. So, you know, if you ain't want to make that stretch to Memphis or Jackson, you know, you went to Greenville, you know, for the mall and for all the activities that you would get in a big city, man. So we kind of, you know, shared some stories or whatever, you know, told him my dad was all boat champ in Alexander, you know, everybody. So, yeah.
You know, that's like Lynch.
Bruh, so you know, when we sitting on the yard, you ever seen the guy come back smoking Robinson cat with the hair to the back,
with the curly,
every time, light skin look like
That's
he
my
got
old
the
man.
That was suited and booted
Yeah.
every time they came across
You
campus.
ain't never seen
Without undressed.
on a dress down day he clean.
Right. Shoes, I'm talking about all the way to the shoes. Wow.
Yeah, guilty.
You don't see
We did sit on the yard like
You
this.
don't see it?
I do now.
Yep. So that's my old man. That's my biological father, man. Shout out to my daddy, Larry Legend.
The legend.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You know, I was raised by my dad, who raised me, Dr. Nathaniel Brown. You know, originally from Shaw. Was a medical doctor. And you know, I kind of had like the best of both worlds, man. You know, as far as just a rearing, just a country rearing at that. You know. Mama's side from Mount Bayou in Winstonville. My Uncle Perk still the mayor of Winstonville, Mississippi. Kind of grew up, you know, country but fast. A lot of association in Chicago. My grandmama, my mother's mother, you know, she left, you know, on the tail end of the Great Migration. My mama was raised in the Delta and, Winstonville, Mount Bayou, but my grandma, she was in Chicago, since like probably late 50s, early 60s. So on the south side, east side, 76th and Jeffries, Cottage Grove, 88th and Stoney.
Are you talking about the Mississippi
Bro,
side of
that's
Chicago?
crazy because that's the same type setup my pops.
You hear me? The Mississippi side of Chicago.
Yeah,
You call them on the phone, they sound just like a...
Exactly.
My pop's mama and grandmama moved to Chicago and left him here, and then him and his brother was back and forth. That's why my uncle is a vice lord. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The Lords.
So, I got a family in Flint. I got family up in Chicago, got family in Milwaukee,
Likewise.
family in Houston. My dad, they raised me, a lot of his family, because my dad left Shaw when he was 15, went to California with his brother, my Uncle Richard, God rest his soul. He was in the military. So, my dad that raised me was pretty gifted. Well, both of my fathers, because my dad, Larry, he gifted as well. But my dad left for better opportunities, went out to California, and was raised at went to UC Irvine Medical School. When he finished his residence, he came back to the Delta in like the early 80s and pretty much started one of the first youngest doctor's offices as far as Mid-Delta Clinic in Cleveland. And so I got a lot of association in SoCal, Santa Ana, Orange County, Anaheim. Still got family out there.
You
know what I'm saying?
you just named that Caleb Parsons. I know Anaheim.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Atlanta, New Orleans, my mom and dad, side, they, down there in Magnolia, Mississippi, kind of ventured down to Kent, Kentwood, and then they all, pretty much migrated down to New Orleans. Really didn't have a real close relationship with my maternal grandfather, but his brothers, my Uncle James, God rest his soul, like they all pretty much, from the 9th Ward, so New Orleans was like a second home, like Jackson. Like I tell people, like I know real Saints fans.
Come on,
right?
Not the post-Katrina, the post-Katrina Saints fans. You hear me?
I know it, bro. I went to New Orleans when I was 5 years old. We went to Mardi Gras. The first thing I seen was a nigga sucking the lady titty. A black, when I say nigga, a black man sucking a white lady titty on the side. We wasn't even at the parade yet.
Right.
We ain't.
Oh, they getting buck wild back.
Oh yeah, I got a crazy story.
Watch
down
out,
there
they
too,
hit you
man.
with a coconut type. It was back in them. I think we all got that little.
Oh yeah.
Let me hear your story. What you got?
Man, so one of the things that broke me out my shell was sports and martial arts and also fashion. But I pretty much took Taekwondo, Shotokan. And my sensei is one of the regional, I used to participate up in Greenville for like regional shows, like at the Y right across the street from the mall.
Yeah,
that's where all our tournaments used to be. You know what I'm saying? The baseball fields behind the convention center. That's where I played travel ball.
Ward Gym, all that.
Ward Gym. So my dad that raised me, he had a semi-pro basketball team called Dr. Brown All Stars. We used to be all through here. We used to play my sister godparents Bowden Body Shop, basketball team. Yeah, my daddy, Dr. Brown All Star, they used to play them all the time. So I ain't even know at the time that was my sister godparents that we were playing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, my story, man. So our Southeastern Championships used to be pretty much held in either New Orleans or in Atlanta. And this year was in New Orleans. So I'm with, my senseis. Shout out to Tony Kelly, his daddy, man, Mr. Shanks, all them. Man, we get down there, we in New Orleans. We had this this ragged ass motel, you know what I'm saying?
Got him.
Like with the door.
What year you think this was?
This was like 88, 89.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember New Orleans back then.
88, 89.
You still get your ass tore up there.
Yeah. So man, we down, they got me on bourbon. I'm like 6, 7 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? We down there on bourbon.
It's grown.
Yeah, it's down there. I ended up going up into like a sex shop. I thought it was just a regular store. And I remember the clerk was like, get out of here. Get out of here. So then I look behind me and, Tony them, they grabbing me. They laughing and shit. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, when we leaving, listen, man, we walking back to our hotel. We in Uptown. That's what, so we walking back to the hotel and, man, we walking. And then I never forget it, man. It was just ugly. I think it was a man. I think
I'm
it was a
pretty
man.
sure it probably was.
Man, it was an ugly, beat down ass man. I'm gonna call her a female, but I think it was a man with like this red hot dress on that you would probably see in the 80s movies or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So she up there trying to talk to them like, hey, it's about time to put the kid tonight and all that, right? Ooh. So somehow they kind of, flanked her and spent them. We go up to the room, then all of a sudden it was a little knock, boom, 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 boom. It's the prostitute again. So Tony and them got the chain like, hey, we good. So then they slammed the door in her face, and then all of a sudden she just started kicking that motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Boom.
Oh, that was a man.
And here I am. I'm like 6, 7 years old, man. So I'm kind of frightened, but not knowing like I'm with some real martial artists. Like
right.
These dudes
with
are,
some hands.
like really trained killers, especially Tony Kelly. Like before the UFC and all this stuff came out. Man, shout out to my OG Tony, man. Tony used to be like traveling around the world, like doing real comeback. Hand to hand, like real martial arts, man. This prior to the UFC, man.
Oh, real matches.
Like real matches.
A lot of people
you know what I'm saying? That's underground. Like a lot of people think that this UFC stuff like came out in the late 90s, mid 90s. But nah, man. They was doing this stuff back in the Gap.
It was underground.
So, man, she was beating on the door, kicking on the door. I think Tony and them ended up opening up the door and like, hey, man, you need to chill out before we fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? And it was, we progressed. Actually, man, the next day, I won second place in the Southeastern Championships. I'll show you the medal. I think I got it in my phone, man.
Bro,
show the
So what color your belt, Kyris?
I was a second-degree brown belt, man. I never got my black belt. I think around the time I started, like, progressing and getting into like my teenage years, man. I kind of like, I've always been humble, but I start feeling myself, man. And I really didn't have really sports or anything on my ass like that.
What up, good people?
What it do?
It's your boy Nardo Blacktastic, and I got my homie
Dubb.
You already know we are the Productive Procrastinators, and what you didn't know was, well, we done got a new sponsor.
You see it?
Can't lie to you, I'm happy for this one. We got Pizza Shack, no slack. 2 locations, the one in Jackson and Pearl.
Let me shoot
Talk to him.
I got you, dog. Jackson, Mississippi, 925 East Fortification Street, 601-352-2001. And the Pearl location, 3040 Highway 80 East, Suite A, 601-203-2986.
So you already know what that means. That thing right there on Highway 80, so you can get in and get out of Pearl if that ain't your world. Now, let's get to these delicatessens right here.
Man.
We got this carnivore piece over here for you meat lovers. No diddy. We got this Philly steak and cheese sub. I ain't even know they had them right there. I'm trying to get this out for a nigga stomach start growling. And we got the $39.55 wings, courtesy of my boy.
Say that again.
$39.55.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
I don't know what he put on them, but the boy ain't played with the seasoning. If you ain't got no sauce, you already know you lost. Now talk to him about these ingredients. Bruh, I heard they were fresh in every bite.
Every bite, there are fresh ingredients. But, they don't just specialize in pizza. They got the sandwiches. Look, favorite sandwiches, dog. Philly cheesesteak, as we have here.
Talk to him.
Meatball, turkey melt, Italian sub. Specialty pieces. Like I said, just they don't have the meat lovers. We got Spanish Alfredo, chicken Alfredo, and shrimp Alfredo. That's just to name a few.
I like how you were doing it. You were dropping them names out there like spades. So you already know, y'all. I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to have to go and get this through because my stomach about to start growling right now. We ready to tear into it. So make sure you tap in with Pizza Shack. Both locations, Jackson and Pearl. Get it in your life, man. Pizza Shack.
Check them out.
Getting money, that was really my only vice. Yep. And, I was a gambler, unfortunately growing up because, like, my uncle and them had the Cotton Club up in Winstonville. So, I'll be up in there, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, seeing dice games, seeing
all that
card games, seeing pool games.
Seeing money get
seeing money getting exchanged. So, and then my grandma in Chicago, like, she used to manage clubs, even though she worked in the school district too. But my grandma have us in some, like, man, she'll have us in, me and my cousin, my first cousin Shanice, man, she'll have us in some of the, like, most, wildest spots. But with nobody would fuck with us.
They knew
you know
her.
What I'm saying? Because they knew her. And then she had, that 32 on the 2.
And then y'all knew how to act too, so y'all went in there getting buck wild.
I was, like, exposed, man, to, a lot of, just grown elements real young. Like, I come up in a family, man, where, hardworking black folks, some sides, one side will probably, be up in the elements, the underworld, and the other ones, just hardworking, blue collar,
Yep.
But one thing about it, there was like no censorship in my family. Like, so if you was one of the guys getting money out the streets, like my mom and my aunties, they wouldn't like shelter me like from certain people in the family. Like we were just one big family.
Right. They knew what you was.
Right. So that was that. I used that to my advantage, man, because coming up in Cleveland.
Got it. I see.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, you see where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So growing up, man, I used it to my advantage, man, because even though, I was raised in a, middle, upper income, household, I was surrounded by sheer poverty. Like, I ain't go to private school. I went to a STEM school, but it was still, publicly ran, but I came up on the east side, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I was surrounded by Sunset Village, East Side Park, on the block, Murphy Street, all these other, pretty rough areas, right? So, my education outside of my family was like twofold, so that's why I can walk in and I can, you'll see me with a Commissioner Willie Simmons.
Have some shout out with Simmons.
Shout out.
That's like my surrogate uncle.
I did it club before.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my.
When I did it, I seen my auntie them out there.
That's my church member too, man. I've been knowing him my whole life. Or you'll see me with a, former Secretary of Agriculture Mike Espy. You know what I'm saying? Like I know these people. But then on the flip side,
and Mike Espy Jr. Man.
You might, shout out my fam, man. Mike was in my wedding.
Okay.
Then you'll see me, like around here, y'all my association with some niggas from Vernon District. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
So, you know what I mean? I always, never pretended to be none. I always was me. And I can always walk into any environment and be a chameleon because, that was my rearing for the most part. Now, some of it I took to it more than I probably should because I ain't have to do a lot of shit. But at the same time, I still utilize a lot of things that I learned from just the elements and apply to, just how to deal with people. You know what I mean? So, because when people see me, man, I don't try to portray or come off as like intimidating, but, having a suit, being groomed, then, I got the stereotypes being light skinned with curly hair and all that shit. Like,
I get it. Yeah. It's the 80s stuff. We don't do that anymore. Like, I get it.
Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, when people get to know me, like, damn, this a real nigga. You know
what you say? What you say? Not too long ago.
You the lightest, blackest nigga you ever meet, man.
On our first interview, I was like, nigga, I felt it, but I ain't know you were like that.
Right.
Yeah. So that's just my rearing, man. Just my environment and sociology. They call it socialization process. The rappers call it. I'm a product of my environment. It's just. Humans, man, we know how to be human through human interaction.
Yep.
You could look at like places like in, third world countries where you got, forests where, a kid might wander off into the woods and then be raised by chimpanzees.
Yep.
Then they'll find a kid he can't break those animal,
It's happened
instincts.
a couple times.
Yep,
There was one they just found, a guy they just found raised by wolves.
You see what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, man. So that's just to show you like the mindset we pretty much mimic what we see and what our environment shape us in. And, I definitely can say, my environment mold me, in great ways. And, the ways that it was negative, that's on you having to break all this shit out.
Hustle mentality.
Yeah, exactly. I came up in that.
You a thinker, though. I love the way you use it. And I look like, bro, you got a good sense of humor, but you ain't about no bullshit.
Nah,
taking no disrespect.
Nah, none whatsoever. You see it right here? Every time I shake somebody's hand, I'm greeting with your respect.
Respect.
That's what I'm demanding.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people might not know, but that's how you live.
Nah.
And then, like you said, you don't carry yourself on no tough guy stuff. Every time I done seen you, I might not see you before you see me, and I hate to do that because I be on my street. I see niggas, but you'll come holler at me like for the guy, like to have your following, to deal with the people that you deal with, to make the suits for the people you done made them for, and to be able to cross into that world of type of people. Now I'm gonna do the same thing if I see you, but you done seen me over there. Come holler, I ain't even see you in there.
Right.
You got that? It's a hump. I don't even know if it's just a humbling thing about you. It's that like an inviting demeanor. Regardless.
Well, that's me, man. I think one of the most intimate relationships you can have with God is being humble.
That's
what I'm saying? One of my favorite scriptures in the book, man, is God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. You know what I'm saying? So being from the Delta, that's why I'm humble, man.
Yep.
Cause I grew up with people, man, that ain't got shit.
The Delta,
You know what I'm saying?
In the whole world.
Like, you know what I mean? So
I think I seen some on Nat Geo. You can find on YouTube about the Delta being like a third world country.
yeah, man. Listen, I mean, if Mississippi is typically 49-50 out of the union every year as far as the poorest in the country,
Delta.
the Delta is the poorest region
Number one.
in Mississippi.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So my humble spirit, man, is I'm gonna tell you this, man. As a kid, when my mom got married to my dad, prior to that, we wasn't poor. My great grandmother drove buses for daycare. My great grandfather was pretty much semi-retired. He was pretty much an alderman. My aunties, they were relatively young. They was just getting up out of high school. My mom was pretty much working, I think, as a CNA. So, I grew up in pretty much my first 5 years, I slept in the same bed as my great grandmother, Magnolia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how we did.
Man, I'm
Right.
telling you,
I did that in Kent.
me and my brothers shared a
Right.
bed.
Right.
Hey, my cousin them was in the bed with us too.
Right. And then beside us, my auntie Lois slept right there. And then my great granddad, he slept in the other room. You know how the old folks.
Yep, they ain't sleeping the same.
I
Yeah.
heard
Sleep in the
what I
same
said.
bed. So, man, it was like 6, 7 of us, like
Cheering in the bed.
yeah,
Exactly.
like in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, like Jim Walter trailer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, so
Bruh.
y'all ain't renting no extra bath water. When you get through with that bath water, leave that in there.
Right,
It come-
right.
yeah.
So a lot of people don't know, man, that those were like the first few years of my life, man. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't poor, but I come from a working class, blue collar family. So when my mom married my dad, things kind of changed because my father that raised me was a medical doctor, but he was still a country boy though. He from Shaw, Mississippi. You know what I mean? So when we moved to Cleveland, man, I started to experience a lot of things that some of my peers didn't. So just like how the time is now back to school, typically back in the day, y'all probably remember this. You'll go up in front of the class, you'll tell you what you did for the summer.
Mhm.
Y'all remember that? You know what I mean? That throwback. I don't know if they do that
Nah,
now.
we did. I don't know
Yeah.
about now.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, so man, I kind of caught on around about 4th, 5th grade that a lot of my classmates, they would say, well, we went to the grocery store, we went to Clarksdale, but here I am talking about, I went to Chicago, shit, we went to California, you know what I'm saying? We went to, the Virgin Islands.
You done missed the
You know
whole
what I'm
class.
saying?
They
Right.
probably thought you were from another country.
Right.
Like, they don't
So
know.
you know what I mean? So that humbleness that came in, man, I started to dumb down my summer trips just so I wouldn't make people feel intimidated, but also so I can fit in. What I learned from that was it wasn't necessarily like I was fitting in trying to be like anybody, but I was just showing a humble spirit.
Compassionate.
And being compassionate, right? And that just carry over for the rest of my life, man. So no matter what type of accolades, what type of rooms I've been in, what type of people I know, man, I accept and I try to see people eye to eye on how, at a level, as equal, you know what I'm saying? I can pop my shit.
Nah, you
You know what
can't.
I
You
mean?
can't.
I really
Well,
can.
let me tell you what I see from you just looking at how you brand, though. You let your product pop your
Yeah,
shit.
exactly, man. The product speak for itself, man. For real. When you know your craft and then it ain't no gimmicks, right? That's why you don't be seeing me, be making no gimmicky videos and stuff. I just post the pictures. Hey, man, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Greeting the intro.
Right.
You show some classy shit. You have it
Bro.
where it look good.
Right. I appreciate it.
Everything look neat.
I appreciate it.
How do a nigga stay so neat coming from the Delta? It's dusty down there, cuz.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Up there.
To go
You're
back
right
to
up
my
there, right.
rearing, man. My great grandfather, he raised us on the 3 principles, man. It's the 3 things what you see when you see a person for the first time. They race, their gender, and what they got on. So you gotta represent all 3 at all times well. So my great grandfather, man, God rest his soul. He tatted on my arm too. He was like my first father figure, man. He was just a quintessential Southern gentleman. Stayed with a fedora hat. I used to see him. I could see him now polishing them shoes, man. Used to cut his fingernails with a little knife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
you
little
peeling
flip knife. Like you peeling like an apple or
My
something.
granddad did that.
Yeah, man.
Mississippi
So,
nigga, man.
Bro,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. So it was just that's just my background, man.
So the gentleman stuff, it ain't just come from your dad who we
Nah,
know Jack State. This your
nah.
granddad.
Yeah, this my
they go
granddad.
back.
Yeah,
Stepdad, you
listen,
got
man.
pops,
My
everybody.
just like how the family, whatever it may be, Thanksgiving, Christmas, family reunion, man, black folks, man, we gonna put on a fashion show.
Sure is.
You know what I'm saying? My mama was, still is. My mama fly, man. My mama fly. My mama was one of the first black women I knew, rocking like Chanel and Chifa and Chi and, you know what I'm saying, white Benz and blue seats back in like the late 80s, you know what I'm saying? Gucci and, like Louis Vuitton. Like I got pictures. I be showing pictures of my mom, on my story. So I got it like from all angles, man. I couldn't escape it.
My mama had a mink. I ain't understand it in the 80s.
Yeah, my mama had a full length mink, a few of them. A lynx with the belly side up.
Lynx coat.
Lynx coat, belly side up.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a difference.
Yeah, it's a difference.
You see, he said, if I said belly side, wait a minute. That's
so, I couldn't escape it, man. You know what I mean? I got it pretty much from all corners, man.
So you were seeing this type of stuff all the way up?
Yeah, for sure.
Regardless of how we gonna live around here, you gonna be like this.
My Uncle Perk was a fly dude. My Auntie Jean, God rest her soul. My cousins.
That's a family thing.
Yeah, it's a family thing.
Okay, y'all pass down
generation. Yeah. Python, snakeskin,
they
boots.
Hoopers.
Yeah.
His whole family's hoopers.
I got you. Yeah, so I want
funny.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like how you got families that are musically inclined, athletically inclined. I come from a family that's fashionably inclined. We got a few athletes in my family, but yeah, we know like everybody in my family, man, from the get, my great grandmama, great granddad, uncles, mama, like cousins, like everybody just take pride in their appearance and their dress, man. You know what I'm saying? I come from some beautiful black people, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like my great grandmama, the color of that shirt, one of the most beautiful.
That skin just probably smooth as all get out.
This my great grandmother by blood.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like
for real.
Yeah. I can show you a picture when she was in Detroit back in the 40s, man. With
man, give us all these pictures.
Yes, we want all.
Yeah. Yeah, man, just a beautiful family, man. They took pride in their dress. So, man, whether it was, the working class folks or, the players, like I said, I got a lot of associations in Chicago. I wasn't shielded from, the pimps and the players that was putting down, back in the 80s, man, in the early 90s. I saw all that. And it was an influence on me. Like, for real. It was an influence on me, man, for real.
Bro, that helped mold because, like, when you in them elements back then, you didn't know you was going through rough times, man. You was enjoying life.
Oh, nah.
Yeah, man.
You don't find it out till you really a teenager.
Right.
So you look.
Yeah.
When you look,
you enjoying life to the fullest. But them be the best times of your life.
Be the best time because they was the most simple times, man. You know what I mean? Because, we had to do things to entertain ourselves.
Simple things.
Just, like a TV was around, but if we ain't have no gaming console or we ain't go to the video stores, we outside. You know what I'm saying? We outside. So, man, summers in Chicago, summers in Atlanta, and summers just everywhere I spent, man. We was outside being physical kids, man.
And you had friends everywhere because they knew when you, Kyris coming home this summer.
Yep.
Yeah, they show when you from out of town.
They like, Kyris coming this summer. They couldn't wait.
So look, would you as a youth, you had to fly. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, this is one of my bragging rights to this day.
Yeah.
I had the thriller motherfucker.
I got you.
Yeah, the thriller jacket. My mama worked at merry-go-round.
Okay.
For Christmas, she got me and my cousin all the thriller jacket, but then she flipped it up for me.
Y'all
she got me the beat it jacket too.
So you had both?
I'm a little bit different. You feel me?
You are different.
Yeah, so
you are different. I ain't had a thriller joint. I had the beat it. And then
which one, the black one or the red one?
The black one.
Okay.
Yeah, the black
one. My brother had the black one.
Yeah, I wish I had the thriller jump, but nah,
I couldn't get it.
I had the black jump
with the V. Oh boy.
And then I also had. I wish I could find this picture.
Black thriller because they all had the red.
They had the red with the black stripe. You had the black with the red stripe.
Then I got a beat it jacket too. Now
you had the alternate.
Yeah.
I had the So you remember when So after the Bad album, we had the one. What was the one he had the Python on the one he had Magic Johnson.
Remember the Time?
Remember the Time.
What's the name of
that
that?
album. What's the name of that album?
What album was that Kenyon Remember the Time was on?
It's like
well, anyway, that album they were putting out. That's when like Rayon and Silk was out.
Yes, we wore the Ray. I got a
and
picture.
I had a Rayon
and it pushed back on you.
Pushed back on you. I had that junk. That was a mimic. It was a replica, but I had that junk. That was like 91, 92. And then I had a few. They were probably like $70, $80.
Yeah, they about $70, $80. Yep.
I ain't know that.
Some stack,
I might have had a real Rayon. I didn't. We went to J. Regan.
Exactly.
We getting all them little
Jeans West.
We were going to Gayfers.
Yeah, you had the real.
You had the real one, dog.
Gayfers.
We was going to
Y'all
straight
remember Gayfers down?
Yeah, Gayfers, McRae's,
Yeah.
Sears was in Metro.
Yeah.
Sears was in the Metro.
We had McRae's in Greenville, and then we had of course Sears, JCPenney, and I think we had what was Dillard's before Dillard's.
Yep.
I know we had McRae's though. But we used to come down here. We used to come down here for the Gayfers.
Yep.
Yeah, but I got it up out of Gayfers. That's around the same time where I never forget, man. So when Jabos, the original Jabos,
the French cut.
That's why I'm
the best
with
one.
the
With the
Bowie
side
knife
pocket
cut.
right here.
That's the only pair I
with
wanted.
the tag on the fly.
That's what we had.
Yeah, I ain't had that strap. I ain't
all
never
that
had the
other
strap.
stuff we ain't had.
I ain't love that strap.
Yeah, the early 2000s, I really
ain't
wasn't
got
fucking
French
with
cut
that.
Jabos was
French
the
cut
jeans,
Jabos.
man.
Listen,
Ooh, boy,
man.
you went back then.
Man, I had
Fashionist, come on,
I
listen.
had the mauve cream, and they was kind of like a velvet crush on the outside. And man, they was so clean, man.
How you clean them? How you?
So listen, I end up messing them up because
Put the heavy starch on.
Nah, I ain't put the heavy starch. I washed them. Oh. And you know when you wash velvet,
It's over
like
with.
crushed velvet, like corduroy. You know how it had them
make it
lines,
rusty, like the
and
mange
man,
end of the
yeah, I only got like one wear out of them, man. For real. I had to wash them anyway because I ended up spilling like a slush on it, like at a game. I think we was at an East Side game when I was in elementary. Yeah.
So Kyris, okay, question. What was your first Gordon Gartrell?
So listen, my first Gordon Gartrell was actually one of them replica shirts. It wasn't the same color, but it was one of them rayon silk shirts that I got up out of Gayfers. Mine was navy. Now I don't know if Gordon Gartrell was getting sold like in the malls like that, but I did have a replica and I got it from Theo. You know what I'm saying? Well, it wasn't gold with the blue patch on it,
but it was the same.
It was the same like
material.
Yeah, like that satin rayon, fake silk. You know what I'm saying?
But we had that. Around the time from like
89 and 93.
Yo, we wearing like
94.
Yeah, it was a little bit of 95.
We was wearing on Minute to Society.
95 too. That's when the jackets was out. You know, they have red on side, green right here, black in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Or the bomber jackets. Yeah, I had like 3 of them. And then I had the one you can reverse in and out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you had it.
It came solid. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was a fly nigga.
I was a fly nigga.
This ain't just happened. That was the question.
If you pay attention to, like my page, like my story, I be throwing some throwback pictures up showing niggas that like this just didn't start.
Right.
Like, I've been like this my whole life, man. What Mike Epps said, I had money my whole life. I come from money. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
so
that's
yeah,
crazy.
I was fly as hell, man, from legit,
Yeah, so you said you was working with the school. You said you was in the schools.
Yeah, I worked in higher education 13 years. Damn. Started off at a 2-year school. Worked at Tougaloo 2.5 years.
Shout out to Tougaloo.
Shout out Tougaloo. Was at Grambling 3.5 years, and then I was at Stillman 6.5 years, and then I retired back in 2023. Yep.
What was your major in college, dog?
So when I was in Mississippi Delta, I was double major, business, marketing, and fashion. Dual associates.
So you knew?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me tell you that story. And then when I went to Southern
Because I'm
Miss,
already knowing our affiliation. So I'm trying to see.
So man, when so my dad that raised me, I ain't want nothing to do with medicine. I come up in the middle class household.
Right.
I salute my dad, man, because my dad employed pretty much all his siblings. The head nurse was his sister, my Aunt Linda. The lab tech was my uncle, God bless his soul, my Uncle Ronnie. Guys who was over billing and coding was his nephews, my cousin Ricky and Centaurs.
This God rest supposed to do.
Yeah,
keep it in the family.
Like when niggas be talking about like, man, you can't do business with family. I just think that's the most asinine thing ever because I seen my dad employ everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just because it sounds good don't mean go along with it.
And then we only say that, but if you look at any other cultures,
they can make it do it. They can make it work.
Even if it is a dummy, he just worked the cash.
Yeah, it's family first, man. So I grew up in a medical household, and I seen my dad put pretty much everybody on. My older brother is a doctor now. He always wanted to be a doctor, just pretty much like our dad, which is his biological father. My oldest brother Mark, he a nurse. So I didn't want nothing to do with it because I did a paper on my dad when I was like 6th, 7th grade. And in that paper, I was just like, what was your highest point? And he was like, when he came back to the Delta and he started taking care of like his former teachers in elementary school, certain family members. And I was like, what was your lowest point? And he said when his first patient died. And it always stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, kids and old folks, my soft spot. And one of my things is I don't like to see people suffer. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like I ain't the type, I only go to funerals if I have to.
Me too.
I only go to the hospital to see you if I really, really have to. That's me. You know what I'm saying?
No disrespect.
And ain't no disrespect. It ain't like I don't care, but I just got this thing. I don't like seeing people suffer. That's also how I knew I wasn't a hater. I'm gonna come back to that growing up. So I ain't want nothing to do with it. So my dad the whole time was trying to push me towards law because I had the gift of gab. I was charismatic, charismatic, charisma, all that ish.
Oh,
right?
you little Dion, right? You little prime time. You got
I was just saying, I just always I always knew how to kind of like work the room and not just overdo anything and just being myself. So being a showman, man, my dad always tried to push me toward law and fact is, man, I got 4 degrees, finished coursework in a master's, but I despise school. I don't like school at all because I'm a creator at heart. Okay. And creators don't like conformity.
Being in a box.
Being in a box. So growing up, man, I was a good student, but long story short, like my senior year in high school, I told my mom, I said, look, I'm gonna make all A's this year. And she was like, okay. And I made all A's my senior year in high school. Then when I went to junior college, just so I wasn't bullshitting, I was on the president's list and graduated my associates with honors, right? So I'm not like dumb, you know what I'm saying?
Of course. You don't get it out anyway.
Right, exactly.
But how I got pretty much towards the fashion, like I just told you, my background, all these fly folks in my family, my first custom project was the original Concord, the 11 that came out in 95, 96. So I was a shoe, I was a sneakerhead before that was a term. My mom can tell you I had sneakers just all in the garage. Then I had like the little Nike Hustle. I used to finesse them, you know what I'm saying?
Reebok too.
Yeah, I was notorious for that, man.
Listen, them back, wear them good 2-3 times.
I used to go to the thrift store and get old Nikes and send them back to Memphis.
I wasn't that good.
I was on it, man.
But they right there by Memphis. He
was right there.
But anyway, man, I did a science project on the athletic shoe. I did the components of a shoe, and I disassembled the shoe.
How old were you?
It was like 12. You know what I'm saying?
The hell?
Yeah, so when the science fair was over, my mom had like a Louis Vuitton scarf hanging around, and I pretty much sewed it around the patent leather and put the shoe together. And I was in the 6th grade.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I still got the cobbler, the shoe machine. It's in my shop. So when I came back, folks just,
You snap, could it?
So that's like that's common now.
Yeah,
but we talking about 1995.
You was innovative, dog. You was the first.
On the East Coast, they was doing stuff like that.
But
we
ain't know. Mississippi Delta.
Well, I'm happy. I got some felines in the 8th grade. We got them air raids.
Listen, I was the first. Me, Lee Kelly, and Laquelle was the first people in Cleveland. I thought I was until they moved down from Milwaukee.
Lee Kelly.
Who
that is?
K-Dubb.
Shout out to my dog.
Shout out to my brother. They were some of the first people in Cleveland when I thought me and my brother were. They had the felines. Like we had the white and black, the black and white with the red. We had the green and white, the white and green. We had the white and yellow. We had the white and orange.
Oh, yeah, I was going crazy.
Yeah, we were going crazy. You know what I'm saying? With the strap on the back. Like,
that's the one. That's what we had.
Yeah. So when I finished that project, man, I kind of just started like messing with clothes. Me and my brother Corey, like we were huge, sports fanatics like any kid. So we had like a crazy collection of like jerseys, you know what I'm saying? Crazy card collection. Like it was one time when I was in the 7th grade, I went to school every day for 1 month wearing a jersey, a different jersey.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I used to get flat, but I wasn't like that.
Like I used to wear all of the Tommy Hill figures.
Yeah, so I used to flip the jerseys, the numbers, the letters, right, the last name, right, and I used to like play with it. So when I got to high school, man, I started, you know, kind of having like, you know, the association that I can mess with the clothes. Now, let me tell you this though, niggas doing fashion now, that's cool, but back then that wasn't a cool thing to do, man. You know what I mean? Because you'll be hell no.
Yeah, they gonna call you gay.
They gonna call you gay.
Yeah, they gonna say that.
You right. Everything you show right. You show right.
Yeah, niggas.
We didn't have no fashion.
You show right, dog. You show right.
Niggas fucking with clothes back in the gap.
Right.
No, but that's like saying you call gay going to culinary school.
So, right. You know what I'm saying?
So that
Courtney Thomas had them real hammer pants at Green.
Shout out Courtney.
He had them real hammer pants.
You know that my sister's child, high school sweetheart.
Man,
that seemed familiar. I don't know if I
and you know, Courtney, my OG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's my dog. One time, CT.
One time,
CT, man.
CT had the goddamn wop like Bobby Brown.
Yeah,
some real hammer pants. We not talking about nigga. I had baggy bugle boys, baggy church pants. This nigga had them hammers.
Yeah, But the fashion stuff stuck with me, man. So I'm giving you all pretty much the pretext.
This the hater part, ain't?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I suppressed me fucking with the clothes. You know what I'm saying? Because you know niggas just couldn't handle it, right?
It's grown like that in middle school, the bullying and shit.
Right. Well, when no niggas bullying me, let's just go ahead.
Well, niggas no soda come. And real niggas.
Let me tell you, man. Growing up, man, I can go anywhere in Cleveland. I had a pass just because I was me. Everybody knew I was just getting fly. You know, I shoot some dice, get some money,
doing your thing,
mess with the girls.
But you shoot some dice in middle school.
Yeah, elementary. We flipping quarters back then.
Elementary. We gonna play it like me.
Yeah, we were flipping quarters.
I did that. Hey, they stopped me shooting dice at
yeah, we were flipping quarters
Cinema
and shooting dice. Yeah.
Cinema 6. They were.
Bro. We used to get kicked out, man. I
won some money, nigga made me keep playing it back. I was like, I can't do this no more.
Right. Yeah, you know they
gonna put it was the Scarface boys.
They gonna put their pressure on you. You know what I'm saying? I know about them.
Yeah.
But so fast forward, man. You know, like the fashion shit, man. I just started growing a name for me. Then probably around my senior year in high school, I had went to Mississippi Delta for just like a little campus tour. Come to find out, they had a fashion program. And I was like. Cause I'm thinking I was gonna have to go all the way to New York,
exactly,
out west, right?
Yeah.
Then my dad at the time, I'll never forget this, man. You know what I'm saying? My dad was on the phone with my brother. My brother was at Valley. My brother was getting prepared to take his MCAT, try to go to med school. So my dad was basically, giving my brother like, just assurance, confidence, right? And get off the phone with him. He asked me, well, how was your visit? I'm like, it was good, I was like the school, it'll kind of be a good, easy transition, and I think, it'll just be a good look. And also, they got fashion. So I never forget it. He was like, man, I told you need to know somebody to do that. And when he told me that, I kind of was like, I had an out-of-body experience, man. I'm like, damn, you just got off the phone with your son, your biological son, and you amping him up. And then I kind of like, man, listen, man, I got a kamikaze spirit when it comes to like goals, right? If I got my mind set on something, I crash. I ain't gonna be no crash out, but I crash giving it my all to trying to obtain it, right?
Likewise.
And man, I wore that shit on my shoulder. I was 17 years old. I ain't really forgive my dad till I was probably 30, 31.
Really?
Yeah. So now every time you see me, I make sure, I got something on, fragrance, you know what I mean? Like I told you, nigga.
we got to get on that. We got to.
I told you, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this was gonna work. But what I found out going to counseling, this is why therapy real important too, man. Because
one time for therapy.
Yeah, for real.
You need to get to it if you ain't got it. For real.
Man, when I first
you
started
have God
going,
and therapy.
yeah, exactly. They go both hand in hand. When I first started going to therapy, man, I had a paradigm shift in my life, and I was trying to, just clean up myself, man. I just realized that my dad was really trying to protect me out of his own ignorance. You know what I'm saying? He was just speaking from his ignorance because he didn't know nobody doing that. So he just wanted me to go towards law to it be something safe, for his son. But he just went about it a fucked up way. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, pretty much wear that on my shoulder and let that be a defining factor. Like, all right, I'm gonna show you motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? And so now I get all these praise like, boy, I knew you gonna do it. Like, I ain't believing that.
And then it's just like that with comedy. Y'all niggas didn't know. You didn't think.
So but that's pretty much how I rolled up and got into like Mississippi Delta because they had a fashion program. Now, when I finished that, at the time, I was going to Southern Miss a lot because, you know what I'm saying, my fam was down there playing football, and found out that they had a fashion program. They was like in year 2 or 3. And I went down there for Q Delta spring of 03.
That's when it happened.
Right.
That's around the time when it happened.
That's it.
And I
Q Delta
stayed.
gonna turn
My
you out,
girlfriend went down there. By that time, we was like, bro, she down there.
It's over with.
Right. Yeah, it was a wrap. It was a wrap for her.
Done with this, bro.
But I stayed down there a few extra days to kind of like get a campus tour, and then I got a tour of the department. Shout out to my old chair, Professor Dr. Bridget Burgess. She's actually still the chair over the fashion department now. Dang. And this when they was compounding, they was making the colleges smaller at Southern Miss. I think they went from like 6 colleges to 5, and then the fashion program actually got transitioned to the business department. So that just made it easier because I just left Mississippi Delta and double major in marketing, business, and fashion.
Damn.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to come to USM. Now, at the time, you know what I'm saying, my biological father was about to be the dean of students at Jack State. My sister was there, but they didn't have it. And then the type of shit that I was on at the time,
You ain't need Jack
I
State.
was like, man, if I come to Jack State, I ain't gonna do
Is
right.
that way my boy come out there with me and the guy?
I ain't gonna do right. You know what I'm saying? So
On the plaza.
Yeah,
and when
we
I
out
got
here,
down
in the
there,
streets.
yeah, like the year and a half, 2 years, I was down there at Southern Miss. Like I went down there when I was a kid, but as an adult, young adult, I went down and I'm like, this shit like a white Jack State. You know what I'm saying? It just gave me a different feel from being in Mississippi State and Ole Miss. And shout out to them. I got a lot of people I know went to both schools, but it just gave me a different feel because a lot of people don't know, like, Hattiesburg has a real just black excellence present.
Yep.
Mobile Street, if you know the history of just Hattiesburg and this black community, is a very strong just community there. So when
Before the school.
So when I went to Southern Miss, man, I had pretty much the whole experience like I was at a HBCU. And the reason why I'm gonna say that, I'm just gonna break down the statistics. I'm Greek. I had the whole Divine Nine. I had every fraternity and sorority on the yard.
Sure did.
Right. At the time, Southern Miss population-wise, student-wise, was the largest school in the state. Far as population-wise, not land-wise.
Yeah.
Like, we was just a little bit over Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Now, within that, our minority population at Southern Miss was larger than Jack State whole student body.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
Got it, gang.
So I had the diversity when I was there, and this was also a crucial time too, man. I'm from the Delta, man. Mount Bayou, Winstonville, first early years, moved to Cleveland, went to East Side. I'm the lightest thing, probably outside of my sister, that went to East Side, right? I went to a math and science school, 6th, 7th grade, but it was segregated. Like the black folks home, the black folks, white folks stuck with the white folks, right?
Even then?
Yeah, even then. So East Side, never, when it started back in 1955, it started off Cleveland Colored School. That's the name. That was the name of the school, and then eventually they called it East Side because we're on the east side of the track, right? Our colors are black and gold because we used to get the hand-me-downs from Cleveland High. They colored black and gold, right?
Wow.
Then a little bit later, we started to kind of like make our gold yellowish, and then Cleveland High was like old gold, like the Saints old gold, right?
Bronze.
But we had to wear pretty much, our colors were black and gold by default because all of the athletic stuff we used to get from Cleveland High, old stuff, right? So my whole experience in the Delta, and then I told you, my folks, were pretty prominent people, man. My dad that raised me was first Black County coroner. I grew up, I just told you, with, Willie Simmons and, all these important people. Benny Thompson headquarters in Cleveland was in my dad's office. My dad helped, Mike Espy run when he was running for, U.S. representative, and then, when he got appointed by Bill Clinton. So I'm around all these folks, but I only interact with white folks when I play baseball. I got one real white friend in my life, my boy Jim. Shout out to my boy Jim. He went to Cleveland High. We in the same, year. He went to that math science school that we went to, but like I said, he stuck with the white folks, and we stuck with ours, right? So growing up, I thought Jack State was the biggest school in Mississippi. I thought Jack State was better than Ole Miss, Mississippi State, athletically wise, because that was just
that's all you knew.
Saying? That's all I knew.
loved it, but I ain't never think that.
Yeah, well, I did because that's just
the Delta.
That's how I'm saying. And then of Delta State, because I'm in Cleveland, but for the most part, Jack State was all everything. But as I got older, I went to Southern Miss, man, because I didn't have that diversity. And I knew by traveling around the world already, because I was already passport up, at 18, 19 years old.
That's crazy.
Wow. Right. So I knew that the real world didn't reflect how the Delta looked. I knew the real world didn't reflect how Jackson State looked.
Yeah.
Right.
Traveling teach you a different thing. They help you put it together.
Exactly. So that was one of my defining choices, man. And listen, man, I'm 18, 19 years old thinking like this.
That's what I'm noticing. That's why your brand is what it is.
So that's one of the reasons why I went to Southern Miss outside of them having a major, but I really needed the diversity because I never experienced dealing with the other side like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I got down there, the rest was history, man. Played Snoop and got, Hattiesburg was my stage, man. Hattiesburg helped me become a man, and it's always gonna be home. Because I just, Hattiesburg was a remarkable time, especially at that time. If you used to go to Hattiesburg early 2000s to the hi-hat.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of money flowing through the town.
Sure was.
You know what I'm saying? And, I had my hands in it. And I learned a lot, gained a lot of game. And I credit a lot of my, success right now, man, to Hattiesburg as well as other places. But that's how I got into the fashion majors, man. For real.
Was it suits off the back?
Nah, it was urban clothes, just like, any nigga from the hood, man.
T-shirt.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, not T-shirts.
What
little high
jeans
end.
and-
Your jeans and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm going to show y'all some stuff, man. I kind of flipped. My boy Courtney, shout out to my boy Toe Green. We grew up together. He went to Jack State, played baseball at Jack State, but and he's a coach and a teacher now at Callaway.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy Toe, but Toe, when Play the Fubu came out, he had the jean jump. Right.
Yeah.
That was like a $500 set.
Hard.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So man, he wanted me to put my sauce on it, and the distressed look now.
Yep.
Did that back then?
I did that back in 01, 02.
What made you do that?
He just said, man, just freak it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know
So
what I'm
you
saying?
already had that type of.
Yeah, I already had that type. And
Once
hey,
you did-
listen. He just found that his mama was in his closet.
The suit.
The suit. I'm gonna show y'all. He just sent it to me.
Wow.
It's still hard, ain't it?
It still looks
I
the
still
same,
rock it.
man.
Shit,
That
why
John,
not?
and
It's
with
coming back now.
that John, 23 years old. So I started off in the urban sector, just like any other, person from the hood. Now the suits wise, I got that from my family. How to wear a suit, tailor suits, stuff like that. And I kind of knew the industry.
Taylor make all the difference.
Right.
Yes.
Taylor.
I kind of knew the industry, but I wanted to start off, doing urban stuff. But what happened was when I graduated from Southern Miss, man, my best friend, my brother Rod, everybody know him as Jack Mob from the West Side. My boy Rod ended up starting Jack Mob. And what we did was the hi-hat, unfortunately Charles got hit. The hi-hat got hit. You know what I'm saying? They had to shut it down. So Hattiesburg, outside of memories, didn't really have nobody. The college people didn't have
Mike knows over there. Mike T.
Okay.
didn't have none. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's my dog.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Dan, we ain't had nowhere to
He
party.
get deeper with
Right.
us.
Kyrie.
I already know it. So, man, me and my boy, we threw our birthday party. And, man, the whole fucking city came. The whole city came. And we like, damn. So, man, light bulb, my boy O, Coach O. Right?
That's my nigga too.
Right.
O was in Mississippi State at the time.
Uh-huh.
And O was just like, hey, man, y'all come up here. We going to throw a party up here. 3 weeks later, we went up there, met with the dude. They run level 3 downtown. Whole fucking city came out.
Shut it down in Starkville.
Shut it down in Starkville.
2 for 2.
Right.
So then we was off to the races. You know what I'm saying? We were Jack Ma. We were throwing parties, pretty much all over the state. Started getting a little money. Then, I ain't gonna speak on the other side, but nigga was feeling himself.
Of course.
And by this time, when we graduated 06, man, for the first 3 years, I was doing shows, running around the country, getting money, and throwing some of the biggest, parties and clubs and shit like that. And I was just running up my bag, young, you know what I'm saying? And eventually, man, I almost got killed in 09. And it didn't really scare me, but what it did was it made me realize I was about to lose my life over some bullshit.
You gonna run? You just gonna run?
Right,
past
you just
it?
gonna and just keep.
Well, that's when my paradigm shift came in. June 9th, 2009, man, I kind of had like a little incident with this dude named Tony. I can speak on it because he dead now. I ain't kill him. But he did. You know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Absolutely.
So he got down a couple years later. But we ended up having a little situation, man. He got out on me. The next day, I had firebomb. You know what I'm saying? It's a crib, and after that,
y'all was doing it. Yeah.
So
you know you should say that.
So I went down to Baton Rouge because my line brother at the time was down there, and this was 09. So I got down there, kind of cooled off, and you know, I kind of like subsided just for like the fast life, you know, drinking syrup.
You be speeding so fast, bro.
Right.
You be 5-6 months ahead of your feelings,
right?
And it just hit you.
It just hit you, right? So I got down there, man, and that's where I had my bearings where I'm like, man, I almost lost my life over some nonsense. Man, let me get my shit together because I got more to give to the world outside of just, you know.
I'm smarter than that. I'm better than that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, man, I ended up sitting down, getting a job at the airport, doing that, man, boom, 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 boom. And then I ended up transferring that job to the job out here at the airport back in 2010. So that's when I came back to Jackson, 2010. Actually, Easter week, I'll never forget it, in April, 2010. And that's when I started going to counseling. And then that was
you jumped on the earth.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, so at this point I'm 27. Yeah, I'm 27. So I started going to therapy, man. Started to realize, you know, I got PTSD. You know, I got anxiety.
We don't be realizing, bro.
I got a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, that I ain't know I really had.
Listen, bro.
We ain't know what to call.
Let me tell you something, man. I was around reading them one time, and I said, y'all don't never just be having a vision that a nigga coming over behind you with the yam one time. You just do like that. They were like, nigga, nah, that's PTSD.
I do, man. Yup. I do.
That's when they told me. Yeah, that's when they told me. They was like, nigga, that's PTSD. I was like, oh, I didn't know.
I still do.
Like I said, you know what to call.
I thought everybody had this shit. I thought it just was an impulse.
Nah, man.
Yeah, we have it. It's a different thing.
I still do, man. I still do, bro.
Yeah,
I still
because
do,
you
man.
live in a certain way, and it's normal.
Yep. And then around that time, you know what I'm saying, like in that area, you know what I'm saying, my boy Rod, he went through something traumatic. Then my mom caught a Fed charge in 2007, man, and she was basically just getting over that. And then my boy mom, she just went in.
That's a lot, bro.
That's
you don't need to stop the process.
Right. Then my boy Dad Poole, man, from Clarksdale, he got killed in Atlanta. And he was just a gifted athlete. You know, he was a dandy dozen with him and O in the same class. My boy from my hometown, Aries Nelson. Shout out to Aries, you know what I'm saying? They all went into Mississippi State with their last recruiting class. Jack Shearer went.
Okay.
You know, that was Clarence McDougal, all them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my fam Dap got killed, man, actually by somebody you know. So all this stuff kind of like happened at once, you know, and that was like my time to like kind of like, and then my dad that raised me was divorcing, you know what I'm saying? But I called it when I was a kid. I knew they were gonna divorce, you know, just I love my dad, but it is what it is. So when I got here, man, I just
still a lot, though.
Yeah. So I started to go to counseling. And, you know, I'm telling the therapist, like, you know, back in the gap where niggas call you from, like, nigga, I'm going to kill you when I see you, nigga. And then my therapist looking at me, she like, you know, this not normal.
I'm telling you, nigga, I've been...
And I like, yeah, I know it ain't normal, but she was just like, but you just speaking of it like it's just normal. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, as the term goes, when you in Rome, doing Romans do. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that I necessarily, you know, wasn't raised in directly in my household, but this is what I was surrounded with.
Oh, yeah, you don't know it, but them pimps and uncle, them dice games.
So, you know, I'm just picking up stuff, but long story short, man, that was my paradigm shift, 2010. 2011 came, I started kind of like getting more clear visions. I started working in higher ed. I was working in insurance also and financial planning with New York Life. 2012, I became vegan. I was vegan about almost 2 years. I stopped drinking alcohol a little bit after that. I was, sober probably about 18 months. And then when I started back eating meat, I still wouldn't do no pork, no beef. And I didn't actually start back eating beef until I met my wife in 2015, and pork. So this was my paradigm shift where I'm just getting a new light.
Without it, you had to go clean like that to get your mind. You
get
got to clean this whole thing out.
Well, your immune system is in your stomach.
Absolutely.
And all the diseases derive, from your gut, what you're putting in, man. But also what you're putting up in here too. And I'm just giving the story how I got into the tailor game, right? So as I basically I'm working in higher ed, so I'm having to wear suits every day. And then Instagram just popped off, 2011. So when I get on Instagram, I automatically knew, like, oh, this is nothing but an advertisement marketing platform.
In higher ed and you wearing suits, you coming with this shit like your dad? You tailored up and
not like my dad, but similar. You know what I'm saying? I respect my pops, man. But I started wearing the clothes, man. Then I had someone, that was in the tailor game that, I thought that would been a mentor. Still love him, man, but it is what it is. So one of my, it's still a strong point because you got to really be in the environment to know. But man, one of my strong points is, man, I play dumb easy. You know what I'm saying? It's a superpower for me.
That shit don't work on me. I know you're smart.
You know what I'm saying? But I can really, nullify, just, play until, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, man, for a reason. So when I'm trying to learn shit, man, I let people talk, right? And then I hold my cards back.
Yep.
I grew up in a spade family too. Y'all know how spades is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you got a good partner, y'all got chemistry without even verbalizing.
We ain't talking about shit. We
ain't talking about shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When I play something, you already know what I'm going with, right?
I see where you're going. What I'm saying? I might just look up at you.
Right.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So these are just things that you learn from your environment that shape you, man. So fast forward, I'm thinking, I'm trying to show the person I can do certain things, and they really basically libel on me, right? So at the same time, when I'm on Instagram, I'm automatically seeing this before hashtags, algorithm, DM, story. This just raw Instagram.
Basically.
Post picture, and comment. No search engine. You got to find your friend through, you know what I'm saying? This is raw.
Put your whole name in this bitch.
Exactly. So I started to notice that, man, I used to get the most likes and the most reactions when I had something what I was having on, and then when I was like traveling the world, right? So I was like, you know what, man, all this miscellaneous shit, what I'm eating today, and I ain't posting none of this shit. I'm just posting what I'm wearing and where I'm going, right?
Be more specific.
And then it kind of started.
Shit caught on.
It started catching on, right? So around the time where, I'm thinking that, my supposedly mentor is going to kind of put me down, was shunning me. What happened was he didn't know that I had all these resources already, right? So I end up bumping into a resource that I was like, hey, it's basically a plug. I turned it to him and said, hey, man, I got this. Let's do something together. And he was like, nah. So I was like, you ain't gonna lie, man, it crushed me. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna really speak on it, man, because me and him ain't really even talked about this. And this shit over 10 years ago. But I ain't really say anything about it, man, because, my biological father, Larry, they have a special relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I never even mentioned to my dad, you know what I mean? Because I don't want their relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's how stand up I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
That matters, though.
Yeah, it do.
That's what make you who you are. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, fast forward, man, I was like, well, shit, out of respect, I don't need your blessings, but I'm going to just say, hey, give me your blessings because I'm finna go and do my own thing.
It's still gonna happen.
So he was like, I'll never forget his word. He said, take it to the top. I said, all right, bet.
And where you at now?
Bet. So, so what happened was, man, I started pretty much, with the training wheels, you know what I'm saying, with the fashion, when it comes to the suit stuff. And then I'm going back to my old books on how to source certain things, like how to put a team together when it comes to just production, manufacturing, you know what I'm saying, all the things that you need to do pretty much to have a supply chain. And as I'm doing that, you know, I'm learning. And one thing about me, man, like I said, I'm a kamikaze when it comes to my goals. I'm
all the way in.
I'm all the way in.
Balls to the wall.
I'm all the way in, right? So I'm all the way in, man. I'm learning this craft, man. And at the same time, you remember I'm telling you, I went to counseling, clean up my life. I'm doing right. Around the same time, around 2012, I ended up catching a charge by guilty by association, right? They tried to, you know, hit your boy across the head and try to, you know, give me some conspiracy charges on some other shit. I ended up reaching out to my uncle. My uncle ended up reaching out to the DA, and he was like, look, man, my nephew ain't got nothing to do with this. Y'all know this. Like, y'all know this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
They trying to put the squeeze on
exactly.
her.
And I'm just kind of like, man, I ain't got shit to do with none of that.
Right.
And I ain't got shit to say. You know what I'm saying?
Stand up guy, regardless.
I'm minding my business, right?
Exactly.
So, man, from 2012 to 2015, me and my wife, we first met, and I never forget it, you know what I'm saying? The assistant DA ended up calling me and said, hey, Mr. Brown, you know, we're not going to pursue the charges. And they was, man, I didn't get a damn traffic ticket in that 3-year span between 12 and 15, right?
Clean as a whistle.
Right. So I'm giving you all this context of me living right to show you how I'm getting these blessings.
Absolutely, though.
So when, you know, my guy told me take it to the top, God just started giving me these serendipity moments, man.
Hey, people
know what
don't
I'm
understand
saying?
when you clean 1,000, like not me telling you that.
Right.
I know this.
Right.
God gonna throw them to you.
Yeah, man. So, man, I was getting these little blessings, boom, 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 boom. And then my break, man, I was at the Spanish Court Hotel. I was working for Grambling. I was down there doing some embassy work, man, trying to put together an MOU with the Ministry of Education in Grambling. And I had this blazer on that my aunt, you know, kind of did some work on. And he complimented me coming off the elevator. And, you know, a couple hours later, I bumped back to him, you know, down in the lobby. You know, we just breaking bread, shooting back some drinks. Come to find out, like, he a third-generation garment mill owner.
Wait a minute.
Outside of Milan, right?
Wait.
My guy Sergio, right?
Ooh, listen to
all
the
that
name.
sound fashionable.
Right.
Sergio.
Yeah.
So, come to find out, man, you know, he a big dog, but he's semi-retired. And he was the one that kind of helped me, you know, structure everything, get certain things when it comes to fabric accounts, how to, you know, talk to budding companies, how to just basically put everything like together, right?
God put him right there.
And then on my end, I had a few resources out in LA for some of my classmates, you know what I'm saying, I went to Southern Miss with that was in the fashion game. And I had a few resources I knew in New York. And then I had resources here that a lot of people don't know that's here. You know what I'm saying? And what I did was I just compressed all that shit together.
You damn sure did.
And on the back end, and I was like, shit, let's roll with it. And then eventually, probably around 15, I was posting stuff around 13. You can go back on my page and see, you know, Taylor Custom Soup in 13 that I was kind of like putting a, you know, flair on. Around like probably 15, 16, that's when I kind of like let me go ahead and take this serious, man. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, shit, the rest is history, man. You know, I just been pacing myself because I'm learning as I go, right? And anything that I approach, I'm a student. You know, I'm always a student. I feel like the day you stop learning, man, the day you die.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just big on learning. I'm here, man, still, you know, going on my 12th year, man.
12 years in the game.
Bro, from the button to the breast, it all look like that. It fit right. It don't matter your size or whatever. It's
man, listen,
and it look quality, the whole thing. It look like, bro, what is he drinking?
Right.
What is this soup made of this button? Hey, yo, Prime should wear one. He that guy should. I need one.
Right.
So,
bro, so how did that transpire into the fragrance?
So, man.
Thank you, bro, because I got a bottle, man. I'm trying to hold
bro,
on. I got some other shit. I got some other good shit.
Listen, when you
I
told
got
me.
about that much left in them.
Because when you had it on, I said, man, what is this?
It go better. Look, let this shit sit on you.
Yeah.
Let it sit.
Yeah, it's a parfum. It's oil based. Listen, man, if I would have had, I just sold out. I just sold the last 5 bottles like 2 weeks ago.
Period.
Look, so, listen, it's worth it. That bun or whatever y'all buying, you want to smell different, original.
And I do.
And see, don't go out when you, it smells great straight out the bottle. It's, it's like, you feel like a woman could wear it. Like
it's unisex,
right?
It's unisex, yeah.
but it's gonna hit you different than it hit me. It's
Right.
gonna hit her different than it
That's
hit
what I
me.
want.
Just take you a good ass bath. Don't come regular.
Right.
They got me in a rental right now. Boy, that shit in my other car, man.
Oh yeah,
Cause I be switching it up.
I feel you.
Man, I sure gotta get
That's
some.
it.
That's
That's
actually
it.
how I got in the game, man. So I bought my first bottle of cologne from Mac Ray's in Greenville Mall. I bought a bottle of Cool Water Davidoff. And Cool Water was
we
the shit.
had to get this.
You know what I mean? This was the necessary.
Cool
so,
Water with that one.
It was.
Snoop
it
put her
was.
down.
Yeah, off of the John he
But hold on,
remixed
before I
on.
get there, what was your